Hello, everybody. It's my week 24 recap. Um, for the most part, all of this week was probably the quietest week that I've had. It was just all, um, wasn't any type of anything going on in my meditations. It was all very quiet. I was getting into real deep meditative states, getting very relaxed, and it wasn't until um, this weekend, and it was like on Sunday and then on Monday that I started to get in contact with the voice that I had mentioned, I think on the prior video, where it happened during uh, as I was driving, and there were probably a couple other times where I started to come into contact with this thought or voice or whatever. Um, and I did attempt to speak with it, almost like a channeling type of thing, to see if I could do that. I found that I really couldn't do that effectively. It was either I was in my meditative state and listening to it, or I could speak. I really couldn't do both. So I could see myself kind of going within myself and then translating after the fact, but it's not really something that I can talk live with, at least not now. Um, and I think that was all I wrote down on this. I had, I guess, today the voice was just kind of talking to me about um, explaining that guidance is never very far away, and yeah, and that was all I wrote down. I mean, because that was pretty much the gist of what it was saying. I remember it was explaining to me about that. It wasn't very far away. I remember I was asking it about some resistance that I had, and it had mentioned that I remember it was stating that I had a moderate amount of resistance. Um, wait, so I guess, but it was also mentioning that help was always available, to help clean some of that resistance up. Um, and that was pretty much all I got from it today. But it was very interesting that I was able to get into contact with it, at least uh, as I thought about that particular. Again, it's almost like more like a feeling than it is like thinking about something. It's like I just go into the meditative state and I kind of feel my way through there, and as I feel myself go into a certain type of feeling, um, I get into contact with that voice, and I notice that the more I'm gonna have to start practicing that, and I'd like to establish more of a communication before I really start to test it out again, and possibly doing some experiments with the voice to kind of see if I can get some type of outside proof. But right now, I'm gonna kind of focus on just what it's telling me, and try to allow the information to come out, and allow that to speak to me. It's just the information itself, and then if it's helpful, um, I don't know if it's going to really matter whether if I can get some type of proof or not. Is the most important thing is how does it affect you? Um, So I'm a little bit excited about this because this is again what I have been trying to do with this experiment, and it was relatively easy to get into that state once I last couple of days. So it's not a real deep meditative state that you're kind of like type of thing. It's kind of a subtle meditation, and it really it's almost like a shift of perspective. Just putting your attention over there, and you get it. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna continue to uh, try to get into contact with this voice on a more continual basis over the next week, and for the next week, and we'll see kind of where we're at next week. So again, thanks for everyone for watching, and take care.